Alright, welcome back if you've been following along with the build. So what we're going to do now is some weathering. Typically what I like to do first on these model diesels is I'll take some flat black. This is just so happens to be some jet black from Walmart. It's acrylic. Cleans with water, mixes with water, it's water based. Typically what I'll do is I'll start with these all these grates and then around the fans, and what I'll do is I'll paint them black, and we'll start with this. I've seen, anytime I see one of these, out in the real world, these grates, they're always black. Unless they're brand spanking new. But this is like the first step that I do. And yeah. Pretty simple weathering technique, and it gives it a bit more realism. See? And if you mess up a little bit, that's okay, because we're gonna do another technique after we're done with this, and you won't really notice it much at all. But it's pretty simple to paint inside here and keep it pretty neat. Paint inside the lines. All right, that's probably good enough with the black here. So as you can see, what we did is we just painted the grates. It looks a lot better. And then on the top we painted the vents and the exhaust, the fans on this side. That looks a lot better. So, I mean, at this point, you could call it a day, but it's still pretty shiny. We want to knock that shine off and give it some grime. We want to do this thing grimy graffiti train style. So let me, we're going to mix up some paint for the airbrush. And we'll come in and we'll do some of that. The paint we're going to use here is some Vallejo black and flat earth. So basically brown and black. We mix them about 50-50. It depends on the color of the body. If it's a darker body, I'll put a little bit more brown in it. So we'll go ahead and do that. Alright, so we got our grime paint all mixed up here. I'll give a little test spray, see how it's spraying. And what we'll do is we'll just go ahead and start applying it. Just kind of go over it slowly until you can start seeing the color change. And I just go around the steps. It usually builds up a little bit more in the front here on the plow. So I'll go a little bit heavier and kind of work my way up. This I got this airbrush from Harbor Freights, I believe, is probably about $100. Comes with the air compressor, the brush. I figured if I was going to be doing a lot of this, I would go ahead and bite the bullet and get an airbrush. But you can see how it's already starting to, colors getting in there. It dries pretty quick. What I do is I mix the paint with isopropyl alcohol. That's right here. And it's like a mixture of, like I said, it was black and flat earth. It turns into a color about like that, and you want to mix it to about you want it pretty thin because the gun clogs up pretty quick, or I should say it clogs up pretty easy. And what I'll do is, if it does clog up a little bit, I'll put some alcohol in there and just run it through. It clears it out pretty quick. Alright, so I think we're done with the airbrushing part here. What I like to do now is I'll come in with a Q-tip, and I'll actually dip it in my grime, and just maybe start from the back here and start just rubbing it like this and try and take off some of the grime I painted, just so it sticks in, the cracks. Gives it a real dip it in my grime. Kind of just go over it. And then I'll come back in with a kind of a cleaner toothpick and go back in and kind of dry it off a little bit. So you get like some streaking effects. And it looks worn. We're also going to spray this when we're done. We're going to spray it with a Tester's dull coat. starting to look pretty good. What do you think? I like it. Can you take some of the paint off? And it sticks in all the little grooves, so it gives it more of a defined look. Makes it look like it's been worn. You know, just wet the Q-tip a little bit. And yeah, this side, the patching effect looks better because it's got a little bit more grime on the. Cool. I like it. Looks pretty good. Okay, so I'm going to take this Q-tip with the grime again, and I'm going to kind of go over the tank here, the fuel tank. I'm just going to kind of just go bring it like down, like give it a little bit of a streaking effect. And I'm going to do the same thing on the, see how that's starting to look. I'm going to do the same thing on the trucks. See, that looks awesome. Let me do the other side here. So I'm just dipping it in my grime here and just rubbing it on, and then I'll kind of go down with the Q-tip. Yeah, that looks good. And same thing on the trucks. Cool. I like it. Came out pretty good. All right, let me know what you think in the comments. We're gonna put it on a layout and see how it runs, see how it looks.